What's going on, y'all? Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you'd like to donate to the channel, the cash app to the top right corner of the video. But let's get into it, man, because the Weeknd had dropped a new album, and I wanted to discuss this theory going on with the album. And shout out Jeremy Heck because he had broke down these lyrics that made me look at it and made me look at it a second time. And I wanted to ask the same thing to y'all. Do you think that the Weeknd was dissing Drake and Academics? Now, Jeremy Heck says Academics, but I feel like these lyrics that he goes over, he's definitely dissing Drake, at the very least, as well as potentially Academics. Now, the lyrics go, because the media hate it when they can never control us, and my enemies hate it because I own my soul. My enemies, plural, multiple, potentially Drake and everybody else from OVO. We know the beef that the Weeknd has with Drake and OVO. Breaking out from OVO, becoming very successful, just as successful as Drake, if anything, or close to. Having enemies, hate it because I own my own soul, own my own music. I'll never be in the OVO sweatshop. It's kind of what I get from when I hear those lyrics, right? And then he says, when they think I don't know, I know, I know. Very mysterious here. When they think I don't know anything, trust me, I know what's going on. So I wonder what the Weeknd meant by that, what he's referring to. And they tried to F and kill me spreading misinformation. But spreading misinformation is a very important part in the lyric, because then when we get to the second part of the verse, it says right here, trying to paint me as a villain. Guess I did it to myself, man. The business life pimping. The business life is pimping, saying that it's a pimp. They'll pimp you out, all that, right? Who can tell the difference? Dealt with scarier situations. I had nowhere to live in. I think this is referring to a time where he was dealing with certain circumstances that put his life in a very uncomfortable situation. Saying high school dropout, chilling with academics. Now I finish a sentence. Now, the reason why Jeremy Heck thinks that he's referring to academics, DJ Academics, is because before this situation here, where he says it, he talks about spreading misinformation, talking about your situation, and then talking about academics, as well as before that, talking about how the enemies hate it because I own my soul, but also thinking about the time when the Weeknd was signed to OVO and left. That it really does paint a picture. Like, is he talking about Drake and academics here? That's what I found really interesting about this take right here by Jeremy Heck. It could be possible for sure that he's talking about Drake in the first verse right here. Definitely talking about Drake and Weeknd's time at OVO and how it didn't work well for his career, and he had to leave them so that way he could do his own thing, as well as going to the academics. Now, it might seem that he's talking about high school dropout, chilling with academics. I think he's saying chilling with people that were into like academic, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, referring to school type shit. But when you say misinformation, spreading misinformation, and then you go down a couple lines and then bring up academics spreading a lot of misinformation lately, it kind of really paints the picture that he could be talking about DJ Academics at this point. The other theory that it says here is that Drake had dropped out of high school when he was a teenager to join the cast of the Canadian team soap Degrassi. So it says here that he basically dropped out of high school to become an actor on the show Degrassi. That's what it says here. It looks like he dropped out at that time, and it looks like he didn't graduate until the age of 25. I didn't even know that. But apparently, it could be possible when the Weeknd says high school dropout, chilling with academics, seems like he's talking about Drake and his relationship with academics. Because why would he say he's a high school dropout, chilling with academics? It just doesn't make sense coming from the Weeknd's perspective. I get that he was talking about his situations in the first bar right here. I had nowhere to live in. High school dropout could be referring to himself, but a lot of people also think that he could be referring to Drake being a dropout, as well as chilling with academics. I think the academics part gets a lot of people's attention because before that he says spreading misinformation, and the diss that he talks about Drake in the very beginning. I think that's what makes it very important when you look at these lyrics put together. You got to think of them all put together, just all together, and these are all together in the song. But I thought it was an interesting take from Jeremy Heck. I know. And I thought it was just fun to point out. I wanted to get y'all's opinion on it. If y'all feel like this was a diss to academics, for sure this is a diss to Drake. I know for sure this, at least this top part right here, is at least a diss to Drake. As far as academics, I'm not entirely sure. That's up for debate. But I know for sure he is taking shots at Drake here in this first bar right here. But y'all tell me how y'all feel about this. Y'all tell me if you think that The Weeknd is dissing Drake. Y'all tell me if he's dissing Academics. Do you feel like he's dissing both? But you could tell me how you feel about this song. Let me know how you feel about the album. And get back to me, man. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace. Keep it a legend.